You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Carbon County man faces numerous charges after homemade explosive devices were found during a search of his Weatherly home. According to police, Anthony Petrone allegedly had an explosive device in his backpack as he entered the Dollar General store back on May 1st. The State Police Hazardous Device and Explosive Section was called to the scene to safely remove the device. Authorities conducted a search of his home at 305 West 1st Street, where they discovered more homemade explosive and bomb-making materials. Petrone was charged with unlawful possession of weapons of mass destruction, risking a catastrophe, and recklessly endangering another person. He was arraigned and denied bail after being considered a risk to the public. A Hazleton man led police on a slow speed chase through the city. Officers observed a Kia Sorento fail to stop at a stop sign around 2:30 Sunday morning at the intersection of West Green and Broad Streets. Police attempted to stop the vehicle, but it proceeded at a slow rate of speed for approximately 14 blocks before stopping in the 300 block of South Church Street. The driver was identified as 31-year-old Pedro de la Cruz, who exhibited signs of being under the influence. He was arrested and charged with fleeing or eluding police, DUI, driving without a license, and other traffic violations. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison for an arraignment. Authorities in Wilkes-Barre are searching for a young man who absconded from the Children's Service Center on Sunday. Police are asking for the public's help locating Joshua Briggs, who was last seen around 11:30 Sunday night. He's described as a white male standing at around 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighing approximately 160 pounds, with dark hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a gray hoodie, and black and white Puma sneakers. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to call police at 570-208-6775. State police uncovered over 50 pounds of marijuana during a traffic stop in Black Creek Township. Troopers pulled over 49-year-old Earl Devon Bennett on Interstate 80 Thursday afternoon for speeding. The trooper noticed that Bennett seemed overly nervous and consented to a search of his vehicle. A state police K-9 unit was called to the scene, where 3 large cardboard packages were found in the trunk. A search warrant was executed for the packages, and police found 50 vacuum-sealed bags of suspected marijuana weighing around 50 pounds. Bennett was charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison, unable to post $200,000 bail. Gas prices are on the rise as the spring driving season continues. According to AAA, prices increased another 6 cents from the previous week. Total domestic refinery utilization increased to 86.5% last week. However, there was a small decrease in demand, which helped limit price increases. Gas prices could also likely be affected by a recent pipeline cyber attack, as authorities say a criminal organization known as DarkSide hacked into the line that runs from Texas to New York. As of Friday, the average price of gas in the WYLN viewing area was $3.05. A bill may soon be passed requiring people who are currently receiving unemployment to actively search for work. Republican State Representative Jim Cox wants to reinstate the existing law. As of right now, people receiving unemployment benefits are not required to search for work, as the action was put on hold because of the pandemic. But according to the Department of Labor and Industry, even with the suspension of a work search, residents can lose their benefits if they refuse a suitable job offer or are called back to their most recent place of employment. Employers and businesses around the state are having a tough time filling positions and continue to struggle with labor shortages. Many are now offering higher wages or sign-on bonuses in order to bring people back to work. The Ford Motor Company is recalling over 500,000 SUVs because of potential problems with roof rail covers. The recall notice was issued for around 661,000 Ford Explorer SUVs and included 2016 to 2019 model years. The retention pins on the vehicles could become loose, causing the covers to come off of the vehicles. Ford announced that it will replace damaged rail clips along with roof rail covers and extend warranties so that the issue would be covered for 10 years or 150,000 miles. So far, the company isn't aware of any accidents or injuries related to the issue. The Wyln administration visited a veteran substance use disorder recovery organization last week to highlight innovative programs coordinated through the Opioid Command Center. Our Philip Kaufman has more.
Here at the Recovery Community Organization Just for Today Recovery and Veteran Support Services, the Departments of Drug and Alcohol Programs and Military and Veteran Affairs spoke on the benefits of collaborations such as this one.
The pandemic brought about uncertainty, anxiety, financial stress, and isolation, all risk factors that could increase usage of substances or result in a recurrence of use. As we continue to evaluate overdose trends from last year, the numbers will show increases, but we must resolve to push forward. The Wyln administration is committed to continuing this vital work over the coming weeks and months with our local government and community partners like Just for Today.
Just for Today, or JFT, is a nonprofit organization devoted to offering safe, structured, and compassionate housing, fellowship, and recovery resources to anyone in need.
And it's one of our most important things that we do at JFT is provide a place 7 days a week that a person in recovery and a veteran can come to and not be by themselves and not get in those situations and get the support and then the services also that we can provide with the funding we received.
The Opioid Command Center was established in January of 2018 when Governor Wolf signed the first opioid disaster declaration and has promoted coordination and collaboration within the Wolf administration, federal and local government entities, and community partners.
It is a pleasure to see firsthand how organizations just like Just for Today are working every day to improve the lives of service members, veterans, and their families. DMVA and DDAP recognize the importance of providing support services that are person-centered and focused on achieving overall wellness. We cannot overstate how important these services are to the road to recovery, to healing, and to reclaiming a quality of life. Your programs are proof that our grants are working.
You can reach the Get Help Now helpline at 1-800-662-4357. To learn more about the DDAP funding opportunities, visit ddap.pa.gov. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. Coming up on WYLN News, vaccines, and more vaccines. Plus, who's Marty talking sports with this week? But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Bonomo. I'm 12 years old, and tomorrow's WYLN forecast is partly cloudy.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hey guys, it's Ray Merrill. It's Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton Mazda. Hey guys, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of brands out there. You're looking for something all-wheel drive, you're looking for something sporty, you're looking for something reliable. According to Consumer Reports, Mazda has emerged as the most reliable car brand, beating Toyota and Lexus. You might as well get the most reliable car from the most reliable dealer. So if you're in the area, come on down to Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. We are the largest Mazda dealer in central Pennsylvania as far as inventory goes. Check them out online at blazealexander.com. We'll even deliver them to you.
2 clinics have been scheduled for Hazleton area students who need to receive their vaccinations. Kindergartners are required to get vaccinations that protect them from mumps, measles, chickenpox, polio, tetanus, and pertussis, or whooping cough. 7th graders need to be vaccinated against meningitis and have to get a booster shot for diphtheria, whooping cough, and tetanus, while high school students need to get a booster for meningitis before they start the 12th grade. The Wright Center for Community Health will be setting up shop on May 12th and 19th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. in the parking lot of the Hazleton Area Administration Building on West 23rd Street. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are recommended, so call the Wright Center at 570-230-0019 to schedule. Lehigh Valley Health Network will hold another mass vaccination drive-through clinic at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom this week. LVHN will provide free COVID-19 vaccinations without an appointment for the first dose of the Moderna vaccine for everyone 18 and up between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 12th. Appointments are also being accepted for the 5,000 available first doses of the Moderna vaccine that day. People looking to get vaccinated can also visit LVHN's Northampton Crossings, Pocono, Hazleton, Schuylkill, or MacArthur Road vaccine clinics for walk-ins or appointments. Visit the My LVHN patient portal if you'd like to make an appointment, or call their COVID-19 vaccine hotline at 833-584-6283. And sticking with LVHN, outpatient lab service hours at the Hazleton Health and Wellness Center were recently updated. Walk-in lab testing will be offered from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturdays. Additional outpatient lab services are also available at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day. Excluded from both LVHN lab locations will be testing on Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. WYLN's all-time OT hero Marty Burns has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off season across our viewing area. Joe Flanagan's back this week for the NFL Draft. So let's talk sports. Here's part 1.
What we're going to do is a little bit different than what we've done in previous shows here on Let's Talk Sports. We're going to focus nationally, and what better way to start in national sports than the once completed NFL Draft of 2021, where they had nice crowds, people vaccinated in Cleveland, Ohio, and a nice event put together by the NFL. And Joe, we're going to first focus on the 4 locals. And when we talk about that, we mean Jets, Giants, the Steelers, Eagles. And we'll start with those Jets, Jets, who got it started with pick number 2 in the draft, and they had found a taker for Sam Darnold. They needed a quarterback, and they went with Zach Wilson from BYU.
You know, with Zach Wilson, Marty, you know, has that pro arm strength. You know, everybody talked about his arm, and looking to see if that arm strength's going to be enough. Remember, he's only a one-year wonder. You know, they only played a lot this year, played well. So it'll be interesting to see if that arm strength translates into that quarterback that the Jets are looking for.
And they've been looking for that quarterback, and they're very excited, but they were also very excited about Mark Sanchez back in the day. So we'll see how this goes for the Jets. But I thought a couple of nice picks that they made later on. Elijah Moore, who fell to them, a wide receiver from Ole Miss, and then part of the two-headed running back tandem at North Carolina. Some feel Williams is the better back, but they ended up getting Michael Carter, and I think a couple of nice key young cogs that they were able to get later on in the draft.
Marty, I agree with both of those. You know, with Elijah Moore playing in that SEC, playing against UC, almost every senior DB from the SEC gets drafted. So I think Elijah Moore will do a great job playing against that elite talent every week in and week out. And Michael Carter, you know, I saw them play a bunch of times last year at North Carolina. He's just a dynamic back. I think the Jets have him maybe as a third down back and more of that slashing change of pace back.
Coming up on Bloomsburg's News Choice, we're back with PennDOT to talk about the Move Over law in Community and You. Plus, who's leading the way this week? Stay with us and find out.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
Wyln TV 35 is looking for part-time seasonal live sports videographers and production crew. Evening and weekend work is required. Candidates should have experience in sports production and camera operation. Please contact Wyln TV 35 at 570-459-1869 extension 1172 or email news@wylntv.com.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Tune in this week to Let's Talk Chiropractic. PJ here is a low-wing towing man that works very hard, but when he twists and bends, he goes to Dr. Alex for chiropractic. So let's see how Dr. Alex helps PJ, who helps you.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call Wyln News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@wylntv.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. Wyln, we're your local network.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Community and You. Today we are joined by Mike Toludo and Diego Sandino from PennDOT, and we're going to be talking about work zone safety and the Move Over law, which has just come about. It's a change from a former law, and it has been renamed for specific reasons that we're going to be talking about today. So why don't we start? First question, what can motorists do to help keep workers and themselves safe when traveling in work zones?
Well, what they need to do is to follow the rules of the road and to drive safely through work zones. Make sure they're alert, make sure they're paying attention, and follow the speed limits through the work zone.
And how many workers have unfortunately lost their lives over the years in work zone accidents?
In 2020, there was 1,412 work zone crashes resulting in 15 fatalities. And 89 workers have lost their life since 1970.
Wow. Have speed monitoring devices played a role in safe travel?
Yes, this is a new thing that we started in 2020, where they have automatic work zone cars that go out in the work zone and track drivers in certain areas. An example is that in Pike County last week, during a shift, they recorded 3,000 people going over the speed limit of 11 miles an hour, just in that one shift.
Wow. I know you said kind of people need to be safe in those work zones, but what are some common sense tips that motorists need to follow when they're, going through those work zones?
Well, let's talk about some tips. When you're going through a work zone, expect changing traffic patterns. So the pattern is going to be different during the work zone. Drive the posted work zone speed limit. Stay alert and pay close attention to the signs and the flaggers. Turn your headlights on if the signs instruct you to do so. One key thing is to maintain a safe distance around vehicles and do not tailgate. And use your four-way flashers when stopped or traveling slowly. And avoid distractions and buckle up and always expect the unexpected.
Right, and so now we're going to kind of transition folks into more of the move over law, which if some of you haven't known, it's a change. So can we talk about the revised move over law?
It creates a new point system that imposes 2 points for failure to merge into the lane not next to the emergency response areas, sets fine at $500 for the first-time offenders, $1,000 for a second offense, and $2,000 for a third subsequent offense. It requires a 90-day license suspension for a third or subsequent offense. The license suspension also applies to incidents that seriously injure or kill another person. The suspension is 6 months if the person is injured or killed, is emergency service provider or was near a disabled vehicle. And then this sets an additional fine of up to $10,000 for violators who injure or kill an emergency service responder or a person in or near a disabled vehicle.
Wow. So could you tell us what are the best ways for travelers to keep up to date on construction and traffic conditions?
Well, there's an app there called 511pa.com, and where people could download it to their phone and check where the work zones are going to be, and they can also get alerts knowing where the construction is and the work zones are.
Right. All right, folks, 511PA app to check those work zone related incidents to make sure that you're driving safe out there. And remember, if you're in around a work zone, please slow your speed. Make sure that you're protecting the people who are making the roads better for us. And also remember, move over law. Please, if you see an incident such, just move over to the other lane. You don't want to cause any accidents on the roadway. But thank you guys for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And thank you, folks, for joining us here on WYLN for Our Community and You.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, host of a new show here on WYLN, Let's Talk Sports. We're going to talk between our basketball and football seasons. We're going to talk to coaches, guests about past seasons, events coming up, different types of things sports related. It's all going to be here on Let's Talk Sports, and you'll be able to see it here on WYLN.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Mike Camise is leading the way to kick off this week's series.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA towards a better future. This week, we're joined by Mike Camise from Emmanuel Christian School.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be considered an emerging leader here in Hazleton.
It's good to have you on. So why don't we start off at the beginning, as we start with everyone. Talk to us about growing up in the area. You're from the area,
Yep.
and just growing up in the area and how that influenced you to, who you are today.
Yeah, I am born and raised right here in Hazleton, actually at the old St. Joe's Hospital on 309. I went to the public school system here. I went to Arthur Street Elementary and then the Hazleton Area High School. And I played baseball. I did a lot of work in my parents' print shop. They've had a print shop here in town forever, so I grew up doing that. And growing up, I always wanted to become a cop, actually. Not what I'm doing today, but I always wanted to be a state trooper, go into law enforcement, help people. I actually took law enforcement classes at the Career Center, absolutely loved it. And that led me to where I went to school, which was DeSales University for criminal justice and eventually political science, which is kind of what I've found myself doing these days.
And when you explored that education, what kind of I think you went from this, where you are now, what changed and shifted there in education?
I absolutely loved, I had to take a political science course, one of those mandatory electives, and I absolutely loved the course. I got an internship for Lou Barletta. I worked in DC with him, and then that kind of snowballed into working in politics in DC for a little bit, and then eventually going on to graduate school at the Bush School of Government and Public Service in Texas.
Wow. All right, folks. Check back tomorrow as Mike continues leading the way into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.